Everyone, it's CVFPS Ball here, and today I'm going to be giving you a Clickteam Fusion tutorial. So, this is going to be the first episode on this channel. This is a Five Nights at Freddy's tutorial, seeing as I was on the Reddit earlier, and I was just having a look around, and I saw quite a few people asking for experienced developers. Now, you can learn to do it yourself, and I'm going to show you how. So this is what we will be doing in today's video. So yeah, that's today's video. So, we're going to start from here on the start file. It's got absolutely nothing, no counters, no anything, nothing in the event editor. So we're going to start by creating one counter. Actually, we're going to start by creating one active object, and we're going to rename this to view1. I'm going to clone it. It should be called view2. I'm going to edit that. I'm just going to zoom in a bit, and we're just going to colour it a little. I'm going to do that there. It doesn't have to look really fancy, you just want to be able to easily distinguish it from the other one. So, what you're going to do is you're going to go into the movement down here in properties. You're going to change it to a bouncing ball. What this does is it allows it to move freely around the screen. So if I quickly run it now, you can see that you can freely move like that. And one thing before we start, I've got to change the resolution of the application. So I'm going to change to 1024 by 768, which was the resolution of Five Nights at Freddy's 2, 3 and 4. So we have this here. I'm going to place this around here in the center, because this will be the main view port, or what helps us look around, giving it the 3D effect. So we're going to get an always condition. I'm going to set the position, set the X coordinate to the X coordinate of the mouse. Same for the Y. And what this does, if I show you here, this will mean this first view1 object will always follow our mouse. But we're going to do something different with view2, as it's the main view object. So we're going to set it to look in the direction. Now, because it's a bouncing ball, what this means is that it will always follow this object, showing like this. But as you can see, it can go off the frame, and it got deleted there, seeing as though it went too far off the frame. So we're going to go back into the frame editor, and we're going to turn that off, which is in the runtime options, and untick destroy the object if too far from the frame. Now we're going to go back to the event editor, and we are going to go into the storyboard controls, scrollings, and we're going to center the window position in the frame of view2. Now it sounds all complicated, but it's not really. It just basically means the camera will always follow this view2 object. As you can see, it's doing this strange thing here, and it's glitching out the screen a little. So we're going to create a new condition, and we're going to go to view2, and we're going to right click and go into, if view2 is overlapping view1, it's going to say it to stop. We're going to hold control, and we're going to drag another one there. We're going to right click and press negate. Now we're going to set it to start if it is not overlapping. So as you can see, it now follows, and it works much better without glitching as much. So we've got all these, but we can't really click them at the moment, and they don't do anything. The doors don't close, neither do the vents. This is just a test scene that I set up, so it's not meant to look brilliant. But these are all just active objects, so there's the door buttons which can be dragged around. Same with the door. The door is an active object on its own, so I'm going to just rename that to left door. Same with this vent here. I'm going to rename that to right vent. We have the buttons here, and we've got this is as you can see here is just a background. So it does not have the doors, it does not have the lights. Then the door is a separate object. The vent is a separate object. And these here are also separate objects. So we're going to begin adding a 3D sort of effect. So we're going to create a new layer. I'm going to create a new object. It will be a perspective object, which is there. And because it's on the top layer, it will affect everything on the layers beneath it. So we're going to go into size and position. I'm going to set the size to the same as the application, which is 1024 by 768. Now if we run it, it will have a mildly 3D effect, as you can see. So we're just going to make that a bit more noticeable by setting it to 125, which is a 50 increase. As you can see, it's much more noticeable. So I'm going to create some more active objects to go on the layer beneath. We're going to go on to the bottom layer as well. I'm going to hide the perspective layer so we can do work. Now we're just going to colour these for now. So I'm going to colour that with purple colour. I'm going to rename it left door light. We're going to I've got snap to grid on, but you might not. It's also how I turn this grid on and off. I think it helps me, but it might not help you. So you choose what you want to have. So I'm going to rename that to the left door button. So that's the real button for the left door. We're just going to change the colour so as we know it's more distinguishable from the other one, as they are the same colour. And I'm also going to create two counters. The first one being the left door light, and the second one rename being the left door button. So I've already got all the images here with the lights turning on, but you can do that now if you haven't already. So we're going to create a new group of events. The title of the group will be left door and lights. Then you can create another group inside of that, left light. We're going to do the light first. So we're going to do if the user clicks on an object of the left door light, it will add 1 to the counter. So if we just show you that, get the left door light here and just run it. As you can see, as you will be able to see, the images are invisible yet. If you click on it, it'll add 1. But obviously we don't want it going up all the way up to 10 because we've only got 1 animation for that. So what we want to do is we want to create, if the left door light equals 1, we're not going to bother with 0. Actually, yes we are. So if it equals 0, and if it is greater than 1. So if it equals 0, the light will be off. Oops. I set it to start the animation instead. Okay, so I'm going to change the direction of the animation to off there. And we're going to do the same here, except it's going to point up, seeing as though that is the left light. Then we're going to go down to here, and if it is greater than 1, then it's going to set it to 0. So you can't see it at the moment, but if we click it, it turns the light on. and off. So we can copy that over later. We basically just copy the entire event. But for now, we need to make these invisible. So you know just about where they are. I'm going to move that over to there, but you can put it wherever you want in your frame. So in here, we're now going to start adding some sounds. So I've got a folder with the Five Nights at Freddy's 4 sounds. So we're going to get an if it equals 0, if it equals 1. I'm going to insert something in limit conditions called only one action when the event loops. Now, as it says, it will do it only one. It will only do that action one single time if the event loops. So I don't want to show you what happens when you leave it without one, but I will. It sounds horrible. As you can see, it sounds horrible. If you put one of these in, oops, wrong one. If you put an only one action in, it only plays the sound once, which is much better. So we can do this as well. Now it is spammable. That's not a problem. You can probably find a way to fix it. So now we're going to get out onto the door. So we're going to create a new group called left door. We're going to do a if the user clicks on an object, just like last time. If the user clicks on the object of left door button. Something else that we need to add. We've got to insert a left door if it's different to 1. Seeing as on the left door, when the counter equals 1, it will be when it's shut. Now, if I just quickly show you what would happen. First I'll just show you this. So I'll set that to 2. Set that to 2. Set that to the left door button. I'm just going to do this quickly. So as you can see, just follow along here. I'm going to delete those. Make it so it sets the door to 1, not 0. If it equals greater than 2. Now, I've got my left door here. So I'm going to set it to change the animation sequence to the closing and change the animation sequence to the opening. So now I can show you what happens if you do this. So you'll close the door, if that will work. Let me just have a look at this. So we get the door. I'm going to put the door down there. I just need to have a look at what's happening here. So what is happening is that we don't have anything to set it to 1. Not set. We don't have anything to add 1 to it. So now it should work. So the door is closable and openable. But why we need to have if the user clicks with the left button on the light, if the door is open, is because this happens. Like, it would be fine with this door, but with the vent, the light goes all over this wall here. And if the vent is shut, that should not be possible. Or at least with how I've textured it. Plus the sound can get a bit annoying. So we're going to edit that. I'm going to do if it is different to 1. I'm just going to quickly change that to the left door button. So now that we've got that, we can add sounds to the left door soon. Just going to rename it to right door and lights. although it isn't actually a door, it works like one. Sorry if I sound a bit boring. Okay, so we're going to get in with adding more of these. I'm going to clone the object. Like, now this time we can actually keep the same colours, seeing as though we know which are which, seeing as though these will be a little smaller. So we're just going to rename these to right door light. Going to do the same here. We're going to drag it over. So we're just about done. So I'm going to rename this to that. That's going to be right door button. I'll just change that to the right door button. Change that to the right door light. And I'm going to bring that out of there. First I'm going to clone the top one. And I'm going to take it all the way over to the other side. And place it just here. I'm going to rename it to right light. And I'm going to clone it. And rename that one to right door. Because it works pretty much the same. So we're just going to do exactly the same as we did last time, except we're just going to change these. So the quick way to do it is to just double click, change it to what you want. And if you've already got some and you don't want to spend time changing yours, you can just drag, 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 and drag. Then you can also do the same with these. You can just drag them. Now, something that happens here is that these two contradict with each other. If that's 0, it'll set it to that. But if that's 0 and that equals 1, then it's still going to set that to 0. So we're going to delete those two from there in a moment. I'm just copying these over. So what I should do now is if they both equal 0, it'll turn them off. If the right light equals 0, actually that should be the other way around. And if the left light is on, but the other one is off, then it will set it to that light. Sorry about that. We've got all these, we're just going to drag all those over. Same with here, we're just going to change these again. And now we should pretty much have a working office. These lights can go on. They can be turned on. And you can't do that. You can close both the doors, but if that light is on, then you cannot turn on that one. So one thing to make it even better, to stop it from playing the sounds, is to do if the left light equals that, and if the right light equals that. So if you just watch here, if I've got that on, I now cannot turn on that one until I turn off that one, which will turn on that one. Actually, something to make it even better than it just was then is to delete that but say that when they click on it, it will set that one to 0 and set that one to 0. So if you've got that one on, it will turn off the other one and turn on that one, and vice versa. And of course, this light can still be turned on when the other door is shut, but if they're both shut, none of the lights can be turned on. Now, in the next video, I'll be teaching you how to make a functioning camera system, and probably animatronic movement as well. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one, guys.